guys, welcome back to another RE tier list. I told you we're gonna make more Resident Evil stuff. I told you, and we've done like 4 of them today. That's why my fucking outfit is my headband should have stayed the same. Um, so main villain. This was a weird one to make because I was kinda like, who do I
What
count as the main
defines
villain?
the main villain? Mr.
Yeah, it's
X?
like
No, he has no motives.
say no motives, not human enough, I guess. And like we struggle with like Jack Baker because Jack Baker like is a main force, and
Mind
also kind
control.
of human. It's tough. Well, anyway,
But like the big
let's
bad.
we're gonna do it the same way we did Protagonist. If you haven't seen that one, go watch it after this. Let's start with the worst. You
Oh my
said
god,
you
Chief Iron, get him out of here.
oh, Chief Irons, really? I was gonna go Simmons, but I
Simmons is my third worst.
third, really? Okay, okay, we could go with Chief Irons as last. So explain.
Dude, what does he do? He's just like a pedophile. Like, he's just a pedophile in like a short section of Claire's campaign, and he has no boss fight. He's just like a stealth merchant. He's just only in stealth sections. Like MJ in like the Amazing Spider-Man games.
Well, okay,
No
hot
character
take,
development, bro.
hot take. I liked him better in the Welcome to Raccoon City movie. I liked him better in that.
And I think according to you, if you think Simmons is the worst, I don't think you're gonna agree with my next one.
Well, I have Simmons. I would have Simmons last, but I wouldn't have Irons that much higher. RE2 is one of my favorites, but Simmons or Irons is not the reason. So what's your next one? We'll go with we'll hear this out.
Nikolai.
I don't know if I agree with this one.
He's just not. He just doesn't seem imposing to me in the remake. He doesn't feel like a big bad. The whole game it feels like Nemesis. It does not feel like he. Like sometimes I forget he's there.
He really
He
is an
gets one
afterthought.
plot twist, and then he like goes away, and then doesn't he die? Doesn't he get killed as he's trying to run, or does he actually
Yeah,
get away?
I think he gets. I always forget he gets shot. I think you shoot him, and yeah, you shoot him and leave him for dead. That's right. So
It's no
I
big send off.
I
It's
kind of
just
see what
Nemesis,
you're
bro. Like
saying.
RE3 is like it's Nemesis. I think of the game for Nemesis and Jill. I don't think of the game like RE2. I don't think of the game for Chief Irons.
The
I think
Mr.
of the
X and that
game
liquor and
for
liquor.
Leon, Claire, and the Liquor, Mr. X.
Yeah.
Even Birkin, bro. Birkin's not much higher than these guys.
Well, I think it's like a main like RE is one of those games where the main villain, like a game doesn't even have to have a main villain for it to be good. Like the villain can just be the scenario. And and two, like you said, you could have the best game ever in RE, have a weaker villain, and the game doesn't suffer from it that much. So I think the villains tier list. That's why this one I thought was interesting. I would have Simmons.
Yes.
I mean, I guess
I'm
Simmons
gonna
is a
last.
little more interesting because
He's like he feels more like a big bad.
he's a
He's got the motives,
manipulator.
even though they're terrible. His boss fight, okay. I guess we get turned into dinosaurs, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, right. To
He
T
might be the
Rex,
worst boss fight
Terminalodon.
out of the three campaigns. Um,
Aldracontopithecus.
Chaos is just better. Usanek, his final fight is better. But you know what? Good for you, man. You've
Yeah,
earned yourself in the shit
turning
tier.
into a turning into a literal T Rex is fucking out there, man. For Resident Evil, even for Resident Evil, that's really out there.
The closest we've
All right,
gotten is like alligators and salamanders.
the
Okay,
rest of these I like.
next I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go William Birkin simply because you get that one little teeny weeny flashback of him where he's human and he gets shot, injects himself. The rest of the game, it's just kind of a mindless monster like Mr. X. He's like, oh, he's a boss fight merchant. He's a boss fight merchant.
He is like he's like an enemy. He's like more of a monster than a character for the most part, unless you read the files. But in the actual game, he is more of just a monster. That's why like I wish Nemesis stuff. Like, we don't count Nemesis as technically a main villain, but he is better than
Nemesis here, I'd probably
Birkin.
put him above William Birkin.
Yes, for sure. When we eventually rank all the Resident Evil monsters, we'll get to 'cause there's gonna be a tier list where we do all the characters. There'll be a tier list where we do all the enemies too, and all the boss fights is another one. Um, so yeah, I would agree with that.
Oh my god. I was confident who I was gonna put next, but now like I've looked at it again,
I'm pretty. This is where it gets harder
but
because
I
these
think
are
I'm
all
gonna have to go
better.
Gideon. I
Actually,
I'm sorry, I just didn't like him. I felt he was. He he was cool in the first section when they were in like the orphanage or the hospital or whatever it is. That was cool. I felt like okay, this guy's gonna be big. Then they show Zeno, and I'm like, huh. And then they're working together. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Then he like shows up on the bike and dies. He gets exploded. I'm like, well, that was abrupt. This guy didn't develop at all. And then he comes back at the end of the game, and he's the final boss. Like it doesn't work for me.
He doesn't. I feel
They
like
seem to
he
they set up Zeno like he's gonna be the big bad, and then he comes in and like it's like, oh, I'm actually the big bad, and like I worked under Spencer, but like it's just so abrupt, and he's like the nemesis. He's got the nemesis powers. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't think they used him as well as they could have.
I I don't. It's so fucking funny, bro. You fucking bike. Um, I think I liked him enough. But again, I think that's one of those scenarios, though. Would you agree that like him having a little bit of those flaws doesn't really affect the game that much, though?
No, because it's just like at least it makes sense, but I just feel like he wasn't like as,
He wasn't
as
the
he wasn't
reason
as
why the game
important.
was
He
good.
wasn't as important as they hyped him up to be in the first like 2 hours.
Well, he's kind of more of a means to an end. It's like the game wouldn't exist without him, but he kind of does all the setup, and then after that, he's hands off, right? Is what you're saying?
Hmm.
Like then it's kind of just it's kind of like what we just said with the Raccoon City. The scenario is the villain, and these guys are kind of just steering it. So I personally, I'm starting to like, I'm starting off thinking I disagree with you, and then when you explain it, I kind of get where you're coming from. So I don't have a strong opinion right here because it was either going to be him or someone else. So I'll go with it. It doesn't really bother me
Okay,
that much.
next I'm gonna go Jack Baker because he's like
I was gonna say
I was gonna
me,
pick Jack Baker
he's
before Gideon, but then I saw Gideon staring at me with that stupid picture, and it hit me. Jack Baker, I'm kind of
Rice.
realizing was like he was the test run for Mr. X before RE2 remake.
Yeah, he
He's
started
patrolling the house.
the
He's an
true
imposing
pursuer.
force. He's got cool boss fights. He's got memorable moments. He's like honestly, he's probably the face of RE7. When you think of RE7, I think of Jack Baker. I don't know about you guys and like Ethan.
Yeah, I
I
do.
don't think about Evelyn. I would, I mean, honestly, I'd probably put Evelyn next because he's not that important in the game. Like Jack Baker is, um, he's good. He's got good fights. He feels threatening. He doesn't feel like a pushover like some of these guys lower than him. He's important to the plot, and he's got motives, although they're not his. They're Evelyn's, but
Now, would you
it's
say on like a tier list of Resident Evil enemies, we're just taking like we're talking about main villains here. We're talking about enemies. Would you put him way higher? Because I would.
yes, he's probably one of the best Resident Evil enemies.
So he's up there with some of the best to me. Which when we get to the enemies tier list, I will put him a lot higher. Evelyn being
Evelyn,
next makes sense. She's interesting, actually.
interesting in one game, not a super relevant villain until the very end when you learn, oh shit, she's the grandma. She's got a cool boss fight where you're shooting her with like the frost pistol or whatever it is, whatever that thing was. And then like it's cool how she's like manipulating everything. Especially if you look through like the DLC and stuff, you learn how she like corrupted the family when she got there, and it's like kind of everything is her influence. But that's not. I don't remember her that much when I think of the game.
But you
And
just
RE7 is
said
a great game.
like when I think of like a lot of these games, this is just bringing up a conversation that when I think of RE2, I think of RPD and Leon and Lickers and Mr. X. Like when I think of RE7, I think of Jack Baker the enemy. I don't think of Jack Baker the character. I think of Jack Baker the enemy, and I think of that. Like I think that's what separates the rest of these. And here's where I think next where
I mean, I think I'm gonna go Mother Miranda.
I think that's pretty fair.
In
And
a game with four other villains, two of which are really solid, and like the rest are the dollhouse as himself is interesting. Fish guy
Dollhouse is a cool
is
scenario.
mid. Heisenberg, cool.
Love
I like the boss fight where you're driving the mech. Mother or Lady Dimitrescu, solid. None of them are really elite. I'm gonna be honest. Mother Miranda's not elite either. I feel like it's more kind of like quantity over quality with this one a little bit. The REA which kind of holds it back for me. It's another game where like I don't think of it for the bosses,
I
but
think the
but
one
RE8's
thing.
setting isn't like elite enough for me to like not take away points for the bosses being mid.
True. I mean, Mother Miranda at least is a actual villain. Like she has
Yeah, so she
motives.
has motives, and it's nice how she ties into Ethan's story and kind of like explains everything, ties into Spencer's story. It's good. It's
There's
just
a lot of
it's
them
kind
too.
of out of the blue in the context of the game. She really only shows up at the very end. She got that one scene where she like all the big goons are there in like the meeting hall,
Yeah.
but it's kind of abrupt. She kind of dies pretty easily. Psyched up as like this like absolute demon king.
Then
It's
Ethan
pretty killer.
Winters kills her like with a pistol.
And
Like
like it's nice. She's a good way to connect the mold to everything else and to end Ethan's character arc.
I would agree with that. And then the one thing I will say is, like you said, or like I said, she's at least an actual villain. Um, but her boss fight, like, okay, this is another one. I have her above Jack Baker on this. When we get to the enemies, I'm putting her below Jack Baker for sure. Not even a question. I'm putting her below Birkin on that because her boss fight kind of poopy. It's not really that exciting for a final boss. She's very, very. It might be the worst boss fight in that game.
I mean, you've got the fish. Does the doll even have a boss fight? I don't remember what it
It
is.
technically does. It's like the thing where you have to
Oh,
run
it's like
around
the
the house and
scissors.
find her. Yeah, so there's like
And
Moreau's
then
boss fight is good.
okay,
Lady D's
the Heisenberg
dragon.
one is cool. The
Heisenberg's
dragon
is
is like
fun.
it's kind of not what I thought it was gonna. I didn't think she was gonna turn into a dragon, but it's not terrible.
I thought she'd have more like a tyrant transformation where she would just
Yeah.
like be more hulking. The
Okay.
boss fights tier list will be fun. Enemies tier list will be fun for that reason exactly. Characters tier list will just be fun because we're gonna get to relive some of the really memey characters. I'm excited for that.
Sadler. I mean,
Sadler's definitely up.
Wesker's the only character on this list that is in more than one game, and he's literally the overarching villain. Like, it's not anything you could say that would ever convince me that Wesker is not like the face of Resident Evil.
I was gonna say, I think this is one of those tier lists where if you told me anybody other than Wesker's your number one, I just don't believe you. I don't.
To the point
Uh,
where like you see a Wesker clone in RE9, and you're like, holy shit, is Wesker actually like back?
Literally, when we saw Xeno for the first time, I even heard like
You hear the voice actor, he's got the shades, but Wesker would never wear a fit that fucking stupid. So
so
that's
that
how I
was
knew that
very.
it's like
That's how
voice
one thing
acting.
was weird.
Just
Like
like a one, like you
let's
said
say,
before, the One Piece Admiral coat.
let's say he was very eccentric for Wesker. Like Wesker was always classy and like very sleek. That guy was more like he had like a giant pistol with like a 20-foot barrel. He had like a Willy Wonka pistol, and I
Apparently,
was like,
it's like a single arm handheld rifle. That's what it is. It's not actually a pistol.
yeah, but I'm saying like Wesker always had like a hand cannon. Like this guy has like
Wesker
a
didn't need it. OJ
yeah,
Wesker just like humiliated people.
like Wesker just liked classy stuff. Like he had the sunglasses, all black outfit. Wesker's fit in RE1 was fucking cool. Like the Stars outfit, his Stars outfit's one of the best Stars outfits.
But his
Just saying,
tracksuit.
his tracksuit's cool too, bro. Okay, well, we have to talk about Sadler real quick before we end this out. Well, Sadler second.
Yes, I mean nothing wrong with him. He feels imposing. He's kind of a better version of Mother Miranda. You could tell he's manipulating everything. He's got the cool voice calls, and you know he's manipulating all the enemies you see. They build him up over the game, unlike Mother Miranda. They do it in a good way, where they build him up over the game. You get a
Just
few
say
run-ins with him,
I like
and
that he
like
talks to you. I like that he talks to you.
he's got more of a personality than Mother Miranda. Mother Miranda's like probably got better lore implications, and she ties in better.
And Sadler didn't find anything other than that
Yeah,
he
I mean
kidnapped
RE4 is
Ashley.
really just a one-off, but like he's good. His boss fight's good.
You
RE4
say,
remake,
bro,
a little different of an approach. I liked
I,
RE4
I
original.
I like original Sadler better, where he's more goofy. I kind of prefer the goofy one. Like the design of Sadler in the new one was better. Like the visual design. I think his voice
No,
actor and like
this is
original.
when you. This is like kind of ties back into what we said for some other ones. When you asked me about RE4, what I remember Leon. I remember the setting. Sadler's probably like the third thing I would remember. Like he's like definitely a staple of the game, and like he's above things where it's like one-offs like the Verdugo and the Regenerators, which are really cool.
I think a
So
lot of
like,
people would say the chainsaw zombie though. Chainsaw Ganado is one that they come to mind, like your first experience with that.
I mean, like all the enemies in RE4 are iconic. There's not like
I
I feel like
think I think RE4
we're
out of
getting off
all of
track.
them have the
We're
best
getting off track.
selection of
This is Sadler.
I would agree.
We can't talk about RE4.
As I say, it's just Sadler as a whole. You're right. Well, we'll save that for the remaining tier list. Which, if this is going to be the third one we upload, so there's three more coming, three more at minimum coming for tier list before we start going back to our Resident Evil retrospective series. We did RE5. We're going to do another one soon. Which those are a little bit more intensive. That's why I haven't done them. They take a lot more effort. Um, we're gonna do the Resident Evil boss fights, which is all bosses. Which is not. It's going to be a combination of how cool they are, uh, visual design, all of it combined. All the enemies in Resident Evil history, including Reese-based zombie down to main Ganado, and all Resident Evil characters. We've saved the really big ones for last. Well, we're gonna work on those throughout the week, and hopefully get them up to you soon. So, thank you guys for watching. Comment down below if Chief Irons is like your favorite villain or something like that. And like, if you're gonna tell me that like Victor Gideon, like when he was tickling Leon, like that really made you like the character or something like that. Um, and if I ever see a comment with a Simmons profile picture, then I'm gonna be very upset. I'll see you guys in the next one.